Folks, I tried telling you guys that the cracks were starting to show, but you didn't want to listen. Oh no, because you were too busy going, too busy doing stupid, silly crap like that at the end of the day is going to get you fake Resident Evil fans nowhere. I mean, after all, you came from Fortnite to this all-new edition of Resident Evil 2. And folks, now we're learning more about this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 3. And unfortunately, it's everything that I thought it was going to be. Disposable, half-assed, and soulless. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Mercenaries mode, which was of course found in the original Resident Evil 3 from 1999, will not return here in this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 3. Don't you just love when the lazy millennial devs over at Clueless Capcom take away things? Incredibly sad. And unfortunately, folks, we're just getting started. So the action choice mechanic found in the original Resident Evil 3 will not be making its return here in this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 3. And I predicted this many, many weeks ago. I told you guys that the lazy millennial devs over at Clueless Capcom will not be implementing such feature because they just don't know how to code that out. They don't know how to engineer that shit out. And folks, it's very clear that Capcom is not remaking Resident Evil 3. Hell, Capcom didn't remake Resident Evil 2. Instead, what they're doing is they're making all new Resident Evil games that are loosely inspired by the classics. And they're pandering to you fake Resident Evil fans that have now infested this franchise because, again, after all, you came from Fortnite to this all-new edition of Resident Evil 2. And even worse than all of that, the longevity of this game comes into question, just like the longevity of this all-new edition of Resident Evil 2 came into question because it was so disposable and half-assed. I mean, you can complete this all-new edition of Resident Evil 2 in literally under an hour. Inexcusable. But for this all-new upcoming edition of Resident Evil 3, folks, multiple endings gone. You only get one ending. How can you sit there? Let me ask you fake Resident Evil fans this. How can you sit there and defend this? How can you sit there now knowing what we know today? How can you sit there and go, oh, Michael, I'm still excited? You're a fake Resident Evil fan. If you support this, you're one of the reasons why not only this franchise is in the shitter, but the industry itself. Sit down!